Members of public, welcome back. We are here for the special council meeting. I think I'd actually read the part out in a minute, but for those who are joining us in person, and this meeting is being live streamed, so thank you all for joining us. And I will declare this meeting open, and doing so, I would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land, the Noongar Wadeni people, and their continuing connection to the land, waters, and community. We pay our respects to all members of the Aboriginal community, their culture, and elders past, present, and emerging. Thank you. Councillor Gassop, you are back online. Just confirming you can hear me, Councillor Gassop.
Yes, Mr Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Gassop. And we do have apologies from the Deputy Mayor, Councillor Smith, CEO Alan Ferris, and Director Andrew McRobert, and Councillor Brown is on approved leave. The rest of us are here. Do we have any declaration of interest, councillors, for tonight's meeting? Thank you. We haven't received any notices for public question time. Okay, so the purpose of tonight's meeting, councillors, is as written. The purpose of the meeting is to adopt the City of Bunbury 2026-27 annual budget, including to consider submissions received following the advertising of the City's proposed differential rates and minimum rates for the 2026-27 financial year, to adopt in the rate and the dollar and minimum rate for differential and specified area rates the Council will levy on property GRVs, and to adopt the proposed waste charges, to adopt the proposed fees and charges for other general city services, and to adopt the City's 2026-27 annual budget. Given we haven't had a briefing, councillors, so I will take, obviously we've had a number of workshops along the way, but before we go into the agenda itself, I will just ask if there's any general questions. Obviously, as we pause on each item, there's 13 items from what I recall to go through. Happy to take any budget questions now. Otherwise, as I indicated, we can go through those. Very good. We will continue to moving now. There are also, I'll also note, there is a number of items that do require absolute majority, which is 5 votes. So I'll also make that clear, and I'll touch on those when we get to each one of those items. So the first item that is on the item is item 1, and this is the recommendation that Council notes the 3 submissions that were received, and that those ratepayers will be advised their submissions that were considered by Council prior to this adoption. That's just requires a simple majority vote, councillors, that we note those submissions. Is somebody happy to move that? Thank you, Councillor Broad. Second to Councillor Turner. Is there likely to be any debate on this item, councillors? If that's the case, I'll move that. Those in favour, please indicate. That's carried unanimously. Thank you. So following on from that, this was the notice that went out, which included the municipal rate and the dollar and the differential rates. So, councillors, the recommendation there that indicates 1.1 through 1.5. We will put this on the table. Is somebody happy to move that the council recommendation? Thank you, Councillor Kozisek. Is there a seconder? Thank you, Councillor Broad. Is there likely to be debate on this, councillors? Councillor Gass? Sure. Councillor Kozisek? No comment, thank you. Councillor Broad, and I will also note, sorry, councillors, this item does require an absolute majority. Thank you, Councillor Broad. Thank you. Speaker against, Councillor Gassop. Oh.
Sorry, I missed a point there. Was that on 7.1, Mr Mayor?
This item is item 2, recommendation 1 through 1.5. Memorandum of imposing differential rates, minimum rates and specified area rates for 2026-27.
Wow.
Is that the item you'd like to speak against, Councillor Gassop?
Yes, Mr Mayor. Yep.
Your opportunity now. Thank you, Councillor.
Thank you, Mayor. Just bear with me. So item 2, recommendation 1. So, Mayor, there is a level of discomfort about this budget in general, and some things in particular. I'm not sure if I get to cover these, but I'll just have a couple of points to make. Differential rate for commercial, 11.676 versus 8.4523. Residential. I just feel that not speaking against the previous council decision about differential, but talking about something like 35% higher rate in the dollar for commercial versus residential. We have a lot of pressure on businesses at the moment, so that's one point. The Pelican Pot one, I'll leave that one for now. I'll just leave it at that, Mr. Mayor.
Sure, thank you, Councillor Cassidy. Yep, you're finished? Yep.
And the 6.2%, I should have said that. I'm not happy that we're going over the CPI.
Sure. Is there a speaker against this recommendation? I'm happy to speak to it. Just to clarify a couple of points there that was just indicated. This obviously differential rates and the rate increase was advertised. For those who were here, we did debate this going out for advertising some time ago, back in May. So that went out. As you recall, the initial recommendation was for 6.7%, which was voted against, and then the recommendation which was passed was of 6.2% went out for advertising. We've received 3 comments on that period, noting they are valid comments, and the conversation around the cost of living is an important conversation, but this has been through that process. If we are to go back on that and look at not having a differential rate or whatever we're thinking in that regard, I haven't heard any alternatives just yet, but thinking it's very important to recognise that we've been through this process now, and tonight we need to make a decision on that. If we don't, and this fails to succeed, we will need to either come up with some kind of alternative, which would, on the spot, is probably not a great way to do things. And secondly, that would then have to require to go back out for advertising should we not want to support a differential rate. So we've been through that process. We have gone out for comment. We do note those submissions received. Interestingly enough, looking at some other councils, one particular council has 750 submissions to their current budget. So to say that people don't either respond or don't make feedback on that things, when you compare it to our neighbours, that potentially isn't the case. So what we can take from that is that people are satisfied with what services we are providing. We can always do more, we will always do more, and we'll continue to find efficiencies when we can do. But I'll be supporting this budget for the process that it's been through. Or this particular item, I should say. Is there a speaker against? Councillor Turner.
I'll actually be voting in favour, but I'm not happy with the rate increase and how much pressure that's going to put on our residents, who are struggling day by day to just put food on the table and a roof over their house. But unfortunately, this is what we've got to pay to have the services that we need to provide. And there's not much else we can do about it. And thank you to the staff who've already cut millions off the budget. And going forward, hopefully things get easier and it won't be so expensive. But hopefully we can start finding some more cost cutting across the area. But yeah, I will be voting for it as much as I'm not happy to do so. Thank you.
Thanks, Councillor Turner. Is there a speaker for? Councillor Kozisek, anything to close?
Thank you, Mr Mayor. I have nothing prepared, but I firstly would like to thank the staff for all the work they have done on this budget. The document alone is an amazing read, really interesting. I understand that there are people in our community that are feeling it tough, are doing it tough, and that will always be the case. And unfortunately, as a city, we offer a very large range of services and we have to maintain a very large basket of assets and roads and everything. And the only way we can continue to do that is to have a rate increase, the one that we've noted. So, and going to the differential rate, I think is probably a fairer system. So I'm very much in support of this. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll put the recommendation, which is item 2 and then item 1 through 1.5. Those in favour, please indicate. Those against? 1 against. That's carried. Thank you. 7.1.3 is the waste charges. Is somebody happy to move this particular item, which is item 3, and the recommendation that the following waste charges to the City of Bunbury, including 2 hard waste and 2 green waste collections, be adopted? Councillor Kozisek, Councillor Ramesh. Is there likely to be debate on this item, councillors? If that's the case, I'll put the waste charge of the 26-27 budget. Those in favour, please indicate. That's carried unanimously. Thank you. Sorry, I did say I'll note if they need an absolute majority. That did, but that's passed unanimously. Thank you. The proposed loan borrowings and financing arrangement 26-27. Councillors has 2 recommendations there, which is around our loan borrowings. Is somebody happy to move this particular recommendation? Councillor Kozisek, is there a seconder? Councillor Ramesh. Is there likely to be debate on this item, councillors? Councillor Turner, question or debate? Question? Debate. And Councillor Gassop, debating or question? Sure, Councillor Kozisek.
Debate.
Yes, sure. Sorry, I got the nod, Councillor Gassop. Councillor Kozisek. Sure. Councillor Ramesh was a seconder. Anything for Councillor Ramesh?
Reserve my rights. Thank you.
Thank you. Speaker against, Councillor Turner, I saw first. Councillor Turner?
Sorry, again, I'll speaking against, but I will be voting in favour. Going forward, we just can't continue to borrow and get ourselves. We've got to cut back and start looking at our finances a little bit closer going forwards. I know we've got a lot of things we want to do and a lot of projects we want to accomplish, but at what cost to the ratepayers going forward in the future? One of the things about councillors is to not leave a next council in a bad financial situation. I'm not saying we're in a bad financial situation, but we don't want to continue to borrow this much money. So, yeah, just in the future, can we just slow down a bit, even just have 1 year where we just cut back on spending just to get it back on our feet again and get into a better financial situation.
Thank you. Speaker 4. I did just have the one question which did indicate around the land acquisition. Is that just a figure as a precautionary figure for that, which I think was loan 401? And should that not be utilised? I know there potentially has been some discussion around that, but should that not be utilised, obviously that loan wouldn't be taken. The Acting CEO, do you have a response for that?
Thank you, Mayor. Agreed.
That's correct. Thank you. Speaker 4. As always, I'll give you the opportunity to cast the Gassop, so I'll speak for it. Basically, obviously, without these loan borrowings, it would be great if we had significant funding to be able to fund our things in their entirety. But obviously, without that, and I think given position of council decision around the loan 401, now whether or not that is required or not, will be a future decision, a council decision should it come back to us. And I think obviously the infrastructure assets clearly very important. The Hay Park Road and car park construction, again, if we had the funding available for that, that would be fantastic to be able to fund in principle. But I'm sure if this, and I made the comment last week when we talked about setting up a reserve for this project, similar comments around the fact I'm sure if we were presented with a $25 million project and the city were contributing $3 million to get that facility built, we would be jumping at it. So this stage, I'm very supportive of making sure those things continue. Speaker against, Councillor Gassop.
So, Mayor, I have spoken in the past about our debt levels. In particular, you've picked up on a point I was going to raise, and that is acquisition of land, 401, 2.6 million. Almost speaking to the next recommendation, which is about the parking reserve drawdown, Mr. Mayor, for ICT. But I would have thought if we're going to utilise funds for acquisition of land rather than it go to ICT from General Parking Reserve, we can put that towards acquisition of land, which is sold real estate would buy more real estate. But I'll speak to it a bit more. The next one, if there's an opportunity. So I'll be voting against this one, Mr. Mayor.
Sure. Thanks, Councillor Gazza. Speaker 4. Councillor, this does require an absolute majority, and I will refer back to Councillor Kozisek.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Loan borrowings at the moment are a must, but if we look at our long-term plan for land rationalisation, which is selling Landon Beach Road, selling Punch Bowl, the old depot site, and there are many other sites that we've looked at that we could rationalise because they're not serving our community as they could be. We have the opportunity to not be doing borrowings and to be paying off loans much quicker. So we have to stick to the plan that we have with rationalising the land that we have that we're not using. And I just think this is important. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll put item 4, both 1 and 2. Those in favour, please indicate. That's those against, I should say. Thank you. Yes, 1 against. That's carried. Thank you. So item 5, and we'll deal with these ones separately. We have item 5.1 and 5.2. So we'll deal with 5.1. I do note, so in my report, it doesn't say anything about absolute majority, but I'm pretty sure we do need an absolute majority to change. Yeah, we do. It's on there, noted. So update that. Thank you. Yep. So item 5.1 we'll deal with first. So item 5.1 is that council change the purpose of the public art reserve to provide funding for installation and maintenance of artwork in public spaces. We'll deal with that one first. Is somebody happy to move that recommendation? Okay, Councillor Quain, is there a seconder to that? Councillor Turner. It's likely to be any debate on this. This is dealing with 5.1.
Can I just ask
Question?
a few questions, please?
Sure, absolutely.
Just in relation to also maintenance, is this for a certain amount of years, or will the maintenance come back to council so we get to... The only reason I'm asking is we want installation, but we don't want all the funds going on maintenance. And with the amount of works of art we've got, how much of that is going to go towards maintenance? But it's great that we're doing it.
Acting CEO.
Through the chair, yes, going forward, when we do acquire public art, it will go along with the maintenance plan. So any acquisition will be complemented by that so that we don't face a position again where we have public art that's not been maintained properly.
Is there likely to be any debate on this particular item? If that's the case, I'll put that to the vote. Those in favour, please indicate. Oops. We've lost one. That's carried, and I'll note that Councillor Gassop has gone offline, I think. I didn't see a vote there for Councillor Gassop. He's gone offline, so we will continue, and we'll ask if he joins back in. We'll deal with that when we get to that. Item 5.2 is the change in use of the City of Bunbury General Parking Reserve Funds. There is a recommendation there. Is somebody happy to move that recommendation? Councillor Broad. Is there a seconder? Councillor Ramesh. It's likely to be debate on this item.
Can I ask a question, please?
Yes, Councillor Turner.
Is this a one-off payment for just that amount, 1.1?
Yeah, so it's not changing as the above one. It talks about the actual purpose of the reserve. So this is approving a one-off. So it's not suggesting that future years you could use these funds from that reserve for other ICT things. Is my reading of that, and I'll ask the acting CEO to get that confirmation.
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, the total project is just over 3 million. However, for the first phase of this project, we require 1.1 million, which will be taken from that reserve, and we're anticipating finding the funds elsewhere in the future.
Follow-up question, Councillor Turner. That's all good. Is there likely to be debate on this item, councillors? I'll put that. Those in favour, please indicate. Those against, 1 against. That is carried. Thank you. That's carried 5 votes to 1. Moving along, councillors, we're at item 6. So this is the adoption of the City of Bunbury annual budget as written as a draft. Now, councillors, just so you're aware, I shared some comments to the acting CEO and manager of finance around just some administrative errors within the draft budget in terms of there was some duplications in the highlights. A couple of the opening balances, and I was just informed that some of those are just admitted, they're part of this report, but they're part of some slight rounding errors, which have been indicated will be cleaned up for the actual adoption of the annual budget. But happy to put this, somebody happy to move this recommendation? Councillor Broad, and seconded. Councillor Kozisek. It's likely to be any debate on this part, councillors. I'll put that. Those in favour, please indicate. That's carried unanimously. Thank you. Due dates for payments of weights and waste charges. So this only requires a simple majority, I should say. Let's get this on the table. Is somebody happy to move that recommendation? Thank you, Councillor Kozisek. Is there a seconder? Thank you, Councillor Broad. Likely to be any debate on this item?
Mr. Mayor, before I'm back.
Oh, welcome back, Councillor. I can hear you, Councillor Gasser, but I can't see you.
Okay.
Yeah, thank
Yeah, I can
you.
hear you and see you.
So Councillor Gasser, I'm not sure what happened there, but we did carry on. We have dealt with item
That's
5.2
fine.
and item 6, which have both been carried. We're currently on item 7, which is due dates for payments of rates and water charges. This has now been moved and seconded. There hasn't been any debate at this stage. I'm asking now if there is likely to be any debate. If that's the case, I'll put item 7. Those in favour, please indicate. Those against. So, those against. I didn't see you vote there, Councillor Gasser. Was that in favour or? Thank you. I'll just get you, sorry, I'll put it again. Those in favour, please indicate. Those
In favour.
in favour. Thanks, Councillor Gasser.
Favour.
Thank you. Item 8, which is the administration interest fees on rates, water charges and general debtor collection charges. This also requires an absolute majority. There is a recommendation there. Somebody happy to move that recommendation? Thank you, Councillor Kozisek. Is there a seconder? Thank you, Councillor Turner. Is there likely to be debate on this item?
Question, Mr.
Yeah, Councillor Gasser, you're just breaking up a little bit there, but I'll just see if your question.
Right. Well, yeah, if you can hear me, Mr. Mayor, just
I can.
point two about the 11%.
Yes.
Is that something we've been using in the past, the 11%?
Councillor Gasser, but I'm hoping you can hear us. Your question was, is 11% something we've used previously? I'll ask the acting CEO to see where that determination of that figure comes from.
Through the mayor, yes, that's correct. Thank you.
Same amount? Yes. Thank you. Yes, Councillor Gasser. Is there likely to be any debate, councillors? If that's the case, I'll put that recommendation. Those in favour, please indicate. Those against, that's carried unanimously. Thank you. Waivers and concessions. The following waivers and concessions are proposed by the City of Bunbury as allowed. I won't go through all of those, but there's a number in that. This is item 9. Somebody happy to move that? Thank you, Councillor Quain, and a seconder. Thank you, Councillor Ramesh. Is there likely to be any debate on this item? If that's the case, I'll put that. Those in favour, please indicate. That's carried. Thank you. Item 10 is the elected member meeting fees and allowances. Somebody want to move that recommendation? Thanks, Councillor Kozak. Second by Councillor Ramesh. Is there likely to be debate on this item, councillors? Councillor Gassett, debate. Councillor Kozisek. Reserve. Councillor Ramesh. Speaker against. Councillor Gassett.
Mr. Mayor, look, I haven't adopted a 6.2% rate rise, Mr. Mayor. As a personal point of view, I don't feel about us receiving the maximum allowed under the funeral, 36,702 per annum. When I first joined council, it was 50% of the maximum. The council decided to go up to 100%. If we were to have, perform to the point where we can produce lower rate rises, then personally I'd feel more comfortable about collecting the full amount. I have to note, Mr. Mayor, that you have made yourself a sacrifice by having in the car care, and that's something, I guess I've taken note of that, and I'm trying to follow that in speaking against this motion. So I'm not going to support this motion, Mr. Mayor, with all due respect.
Yes, thanks, Councillor Gassett. Is there a speaker for? Councillor Turner.
I know my worth and how hard I work as a councillor. Just this week alone, I've got the Bunbury Harvey Council. I've been in 2 grant meetings and prepared for a budget meeting plus an ordinary council meeting while working 6 days a week. Not all of us have got the opportunity of having a partner to pump up their income or be wealthy. Some of us work in lower paying jobs and work hard. But with the amount of work I put in as a councillor, why should I receive 50% when another council receives 100%? Why? I'm sorry, but if you were offered $20 an hour or $30 an hour, would you choose 20? No, sorry, you wouldn't. So I know my worth and I know my fellow councillors' worth and the mayor's worth of what they put forward, and also the amount of mental health and, well, I'll just say it, the crap we have to put up with, sorry, I'm worth 100%.
Thanks, Councillor Turner. Is there a speaker against? Councillor Kozisek.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I completely concur with Councillor Turner. We put in many, many hours, and with local government minister having made the decision for us that we would lose 4 councillors over the last 4 years, we're all doubling up on the committees that we're on, the reading that we have to do. I think, to be honest, I think the ratepayers get very good value for money. But also we have to bear in mind, if we're going to attract a fresh bunch of councillors that will have to give up paid work to attend council meetings, there has to be a remuneration that makes it worthwhile for them. Otherwise, it's going to be the same stale old white, except for Ramesh. We're just not going to get fresh blood, and I think it's really important. So it has to be reasonably attractive for someone to put time in to do it. So I really think that we are entitled to this level of reimbursement. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll put item 10. Those in favour, please indicate. This does require an absolute majority. That is, those against? 1 against. That's carried. Thank you. There is the meeting attendance fees for Independent Audit Risk and Improvement Committee members. The recommendation there is as follows. Is somebody happy to move that? Councillor Quain, is there a seconder? Councillor Kozisek? Likely to be any debate on this, councillors? Councillor Turner?
Sorry, I might be a bit of a hypocrite here, but this is from 0 to 100. This is from, I can't see the range, but it's quite extraordinary from, I think does anyone know off the lowest and the highest you can pay someone? $1,200
Yes.
for a meeting. I understand these people
Are you
have
debating,
got-
Councillor Turner? You're asking a question?
Oh, sorry, I thought I was debating.
Oh, no, Councillor Quain moved this
Sorry.
one, so, yeah, the minimum, but you asked the question, what's the various 110 and 1215, and probably just for some clarity, clearly, on previous item, there's a policy position on that. Given this is a new thing, this is what the initial arrangement was, so hence why this has been pre-filled by the staff and up for us to determination. So, but yeah, the range of this is set by the independent board as well, which is between 110 and 1215. So, Councillor Quain moved. Did you have a question now, Councillor Turner?
No, so we can't change that.
We can change that. This is setting it, which was based on what the staff initially as they came in, but there's no policy. We don't have a policy position on this because obviously having committee member positions is not something we've had before. Councillor Turner?
If I can ask, how many meetings per year and what's the estimated time of those meetings, please?
Yeah, I would say 4 meetings, 4 formal meetings. Now the chair may meet with the Auditor General separately. The meetings range from 1 hour to, depending if you're meeting with the auditors, might be a few hours. And obviously as we've seen in some of the last committees, there's more and more recommendations coming from that group. So obviously it's how long a piece of string is how long the meetings may be, as you are well aware, Councillor Turner. But yeah, 4 times a year is what that group meets.
Follow up, how many people are on that?
Three independent members, and the chair is independent as well, which is legislated.
Does the chair receive more money than the others? Thank you.
No. Further questions? So we have the mover and a second. Is likely to be any debate on this item, councillors? If that's the case, I'll put that recommendation. Those in favour, please indicate. Those against? 1 against, that's carried. Thank you. Councillor Guessop voted in favour. Yep, thank you. This is the schedule of fees and charges, councillors. The schedule of fees and charges, which is there. Is somebody happy to move this? Thank you, Councillor Kozisek. Seconded by Councillor Ramesh. Likely to be any debate on this? If that's the case, I'll put that. Those in favour, please indicate. That's carried, thank you. Unanimously, thank you. And the last item is item 13. This is a simple majority, and this is reporting on material variances in the monthly statement of the financial activity. Somebody happy to move this item? Thank you, Councillor Quain. Seconded by Councillor Turner. Likely to be any debate on this item? If that's the case, I'll put that. Those in favour, please indicate. That is carried unanimously. Thank you, councillors. Councillors, that does bring us to a close. I will finish by noting thank you to first the staff for preparing this budget. As we know, it's a big part of the year, and we appreciate the staff's effort. So please, through the acting CEO, pass those comments on to the rest of the staff for this budget, and to elected members, obviously, for the work, not just tonight, but over the last few months, and noting some of the commentaries being made tonight about the importance of this budget and for budgets going forward. And I appreciate that, and I'll declare this meeting closed at 7:04. Thank you.